today's video, we'll be looking at some scary and creepy TikTok videos that you should probably not watch before bed.
A TikTok user named Alicia was bored one day and decided to record a few TikToks. She pulled out her phone and began to record, and everything seemed to be going smoothly. But when she watched the video back, she noticed something terrifying.
Y'all see anything yet? Oh, what's that?
As Alicia moved the phone back and forth, a creepy, dark apparition appeared behind her. Then, just moments later, it vanished. Alicia was completely alone while recording these videos, so she has no idea who or what this could have been. So was it a ghost? I'll leave that.
Have you ever heard of the Japanese true crime case of Junko Furuta? The case of Junko Furuta is a tragic and disturbing story that took place in Tokyo, Japan in 1989. Junko Furuta was a 16-year-old high school student who was kidnapped by a group of 4 teenage boys. Over the course of 44 days, Junko was subjected to unimaginable torture and abuse. She was beaten, raped, burned with cigarettes, had her body pierced with sewing needles, and was forced to eat cockroaches and drink her own urine. She was reportedly forced to write letters to her parents and friends, pretending that everything was alright, so that the kidnappers could extort money from them. The kidnappers kept Junko captive in the house of one of the boys' parents, where she was repeatedly raped and abused. They also invited other boys to come and join in the torture and abuse. At one point, Junko's injuries were so severe that she was unable to walk or even speak. Despite her horrific ordeal, Junko showed incredible resilience and bravery. She tried to escape several times, but was caught each time. She also begged her captors to kill her to end their suffering, but they refused. On January 4th, 1989, Junko was left alone in the house, and she died from shock due to the severity of her injuries. The kidnappers then placed her body in a 55-gallon drum filled with concrete and disposed of it in a remote location. After the discovery of her body, the 4 kidnappers were arrested and charged with various crimes, including rape and murder. They were all found guilty and sentenced to varying lengths of imprisonment.
Morbid Facts, Part 72. In 1987, Kenneth Parks drove 12 miles to his mother-in-law's house and stabbed her to death in the middle of the night. But he didn't receive any jail time because Kenneth's lawyer was able to prove that he was sleepwalking the whole time. In the 1960s, Canadian hunter Francis Wharton shot a deer and made dentures from its teeth. He then proceeded to eat the deer with the deer's own teeth.
Yo, talk about creepy. Like, who makes deer's dentures? I ain't never heard of nothing like that before.
This man from Turkey locked his head inside of a cage as an attempt to quit smoking. His wife held onto the key and only opened it for meals and sleep. A Massachusetts man named Kenny Waters was wrongly imprisoned for 18 years for murder. He was finally freed in 2001 after his high school dropout sister went to law school to prove his innocence. Sadly, he died 6 months after his release in a freak accident. After a mass shooting, you would expect complete silence at the crime scene. But police say one of the eeriest things is all of the phones that ring when family members are trying to find out if
This video shows what the scariest horror movie ever is. Let's see what number 1 is. Comment down below what you think it's gonna be. Unfriended, Hereditary. I would have put Hereditary way far up. That movie is terrifying.
Yo, speaking of Hereditary, not gonna lie, most terrifying, horrifying movie I've ever watched. It's got number 1, hands down to me. Like, I don't know why they had it so low on this list, but it's probably because I haven't seen a lot of these other ones either. But Hereditary, though, hey, I would advise y'all to watch that probably like around noon in the afternoon. Like, I wouldn't watch that at night for sure.
A Quiet Place was pretty good. The first one, not the second one. It was okay. I don't think it was that scary. Drag Me to Hell was great. It Follows. 28 Weeks Later, great movie. Great movie. One of the best zombie movies ever. The Blair Witch. Wasn't really that scary. Jaws. Love Jaws. Jaws is real. Comment down below if you think Jaws is real. Scream, my favorite franchise. I don't think any slasher movie should be up at the top. They're slasher movies. They're not scary.
The Grudge is
They're
crazy.
good. Really good. Not scary. Annabelle, for sure.
Insidious.
Insidious. Sinister. The Exorcist, The Conjuring, one of the best. What's number 1? Silent Hill is really scary. Psycho? What? How is that not
Proof that Prince
Anybody seen
Harry
that?
was not a royal. When Prince Harry and Meghan Markle left the monarchy, everyone thought it was due to the couple and the family not getting along. But what if they were actually forced out? Because Harry wasn't actually a member of the royal family. We all know that Prince Harry's parents, Princess Diana, and the now King Charles had a rather rough marriage, with alleged affairs going on left, right, and center. But one in particular involving Diana's writing instructor James Hewitt in the 1980s caught the public's eyes. Well, you see, Diana had revealed that the affair lasted for 5 years and was ongoing when Harry was born. And if you look at the resemblance between James Hewitt and Prince Harry, you'll see a lot more similarities as compared to Harry and Charles. Even though the commander in charge of royal protection in 1955 revealed that Harry refused to take a paternity test.
A man named Chris
That's James' son, y'all. Say it ain't.
Chris is an urban explorer that often ventures inside some of the creepiest places he can find. In one of his explorations, he decided to take a look inside a mysterious tunnel system filled with flowing water. But as he made his way through the maze of tunnels, he came face to face with something terrifying.
Oh, that looked Photoshop.
At the end of a tunnel, a chilling pair of glowing eyes peered out from behind the wall. Soon after, another creature appeared, revealing a second pair of glowing eyes and an eerie black body. Because of the fog, Chris didn't notice these figures at the time. But what could...
Scary TikTok videos part 102.
This is a photo of a chicken that was beheaded but refused to die for an astonishing 18 months. On September 10th, 1945, Lloyd Olson and his wife Clara were killing chickens on their farm in Colorado. Lloyd would decapitate the chickens, Clara would clean them up, then they'd take them to town to sell them at the meat market. They got down to the last few chickens, and one of the chickens that had already been through the first step was still alive and running around. It ended up being placed in an old apple box in their screened-in porch that night, and when Lloyd woke up the next morning, he saw that the chicken was still alive. They named him Mike the Headless Chicken and fed him liquid food by dropping it directly into its esophagus. Lloyd fed him with a dropper and had to clear the chicken's throat of mucus with a syringe. The night Mike died, they were woken up in a motel room to the sound of a chicken choking. They couldn't find the syringe to get the mucus out, resulting in Mike suffocating. The reason Mike was able to survive decapitation is because there is very little brain in the front of a chicken's head and the brainstem was still connected. It's estimated that up to 80% of Mike's brain mass and almost everything that controlled his body remained untouched. The cut was in just the right place, and a timely blood clot prevented him from...
Alright, so if you guys didn't know, this August, we're supposed to be getting a new Dracula horror movie called The Last Voyage of the Demeter. Now, for those that don't know what the Demeter is, it's the ship that Dracula took to England, but on the way to England, he had killed everybody on board. And let me tell you something, this is not a Dracula with one of those lame-ass suits that says, "I want to suck your blood." It's not one of those Draculas that says a fucking number and then goes, after saying it. This is a Dracula that when you see it, you're gonna fucking shit yourself. Now me, I have not seen every fucking Dracula movie ever made, but just from this trailer, this is one of my favorite Dracula designs of all time. Because when it comes to me at least, I have never, and I mean never, found Dracula scary whatsoever. Like anytime I think of the name Dracula, this is exactly what comes to fucking mind.
When I think of Dracula, I'm not gonna lie, y'all, I think of like that old cereal that we used to get every like around Halloween. They pull out the little Halloween cereal boxes and they got the little Dracula chocolate cereal. That's what I think of when I see Dracula.
Not a fucking bat, humanoid, demon, whatever the fuck this shit is. I fucking like it.
The devil is real. May God have mercy on us all. A child who was missing since 2019 has been found alive under a staircase. 4-year-old Paisley Schultes was removed from custody of her biological parents along with her sister. Although it's not been revealed as to why, her parents Kim Cooper and Kirk Schultes were no longer legally allowed to look after the girls. In July 2019, Paisley vanished from her family home while her older sister was at school. She'd been living near Ithaca, New York. Although police strongly suspected her biological parents, they had absolutely no proof. Police were actually able to search the parents' property. They denied having anything to do with this, and the police could not find the girl inside the house. Years later, however, in 2022, police received a tip-off that the little girl may be in the house after all. Although at first it seemed that nothing was off about the property, after about an hour, one of the detectives realised something odd about the stairs. Acting on gut instinct, they looked a little closer and eventually found a small hiding place. When they were able to get a little closer, they found Paisley hiding in the small space. The couple were charged with custodial interference.
That's crazy. Oh, no.
It was just confirmed by Lionsgate a few days ago that we're getting the trailer for Saw X at the end of July. It seems that it's going to be coming out at Midsummer Scream Fest, July 28th or 29th. The movie comes out October 27th. I am so excited. Yes, it's the same day as the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. A lot of people have asked me, Bailey, which one are you going to see first, Saw X or Five Nights at Freddy's? And honestly, this is like the Barbie Oppenheimer of horror fans. This is a double feature situation. We are seeing Saw X and FNAF in the same day. That being said, I'm seeing each film multiple times. I cannot wait. But yeah, first trailer coming out this month. How are we feeling? Any predictions?
Deep web footage.
Wait. This is proof that ancient civilizations were way more advanced than we thought. Okay, first we're going to be talking about ancient Egypt. Look at the Orion's Belt, which is a star constellation. But did you know it perfectly lines up with the pyramids of Giza? That's actually insane, but do you want to hear something even crazier? The speed of light and the coordinates of the pyramid are the same exact number. Just try and wrap your head around that for a second. It's also mind-blowing that the pyramids line up perfectly with the motherboard of a modern computer. If you still think the Egyptians weren't more advanced than we thought after hearing all of those things, maybe this last one could change your mind. Ancient cave drawings in Egypt actually have depictions of light bulbs. I don't believe all this could just be a coincidence, and I actually believe the Egyptians were way more advanced than we're led on to believe. The speed of light and the coordinates of the pyramid being the same exact number really makes me wonder what kind of technology did they have to do this? And to be honest, even know about it. So yeah, what do you think about all this? Do you think the Egyptians were way more advanced than we thought? Or do you think it's all just one big...
What y'all think? Y'all think the Egyptians was a lot more advanced? I think Egypt goes back a lot longer than what we think, you know, and that these people were a lot more advanced than what, you know, we're led to believe. Yo, what the... Literally, what's going on here? I'm trying. Yeah, look at this. That thing it's crazy. I gotta go to Vegas to see that.
A fishing crew was out in the middle of the sea when they heard something horrifying. Back in 2021, a group of deep-sea fishermen were out in the middle of Buzzards Bay, which was miles away from shore. As they were packing up, getting ready to call it a night, they heard something calling to them out in the middle of the deep, dark sea.
hear it. I hear him. Where's he at? What the fuck is that noise, bro? What is that noise?
A terrifying scream of a woman could be heard coming from the deep, dark water. Could it be that this fishing crew caught the mythological creature known as the siren on camera?
I've just played one of the scariest games of the year. Let's talk about a Japanese horror nightmare. Night Security by Chillizart. Full game playthrough with all endings right here. I have played dozens of horror games since starting this channel, and man, this one was scary. You play as a security guard who works the night shift. You go to each floor of the office building, check the fire alarms, and lock up. However, the higher you go in that office building, the more disturbing things get, and you start to piece together that something tragic happened here. You learn about another security guard that just stopped showing up to work after something awful happened in his life. I guess they worked the same shift you did. You learn about a girl who was in love with that security guard, and a betrayal that caused her to resort to something she could never take back. How is it connected? I won't spoil them here, but the two endings reveal the truth about this nightmare situation.
Yo, watching all these creepy TikTok videos, it's really got me wanting to play some horror video games. Let me know in the comment section if y'all be interested in that. Y'all want to see me play some horror games or not? But yeah, guys, these are some of the most scary and creepy TikTok videos that you'll be able to find. If you like the content, don't forget to subscribe, turn your notification bell on, and until next time, YouTube, peace.